What's up, everybody? My name's Josh Riel. I'm here with the man, the myth, the Joss Whedon here at San Diego Comic-Con. What's up, Joss?
Everything, as you can see.
Yes. Pretty. Have you walked the floor at all?
I did. I got to walk the floor. It was fun. I got to buy some stuff.
How often do you get like swarmed and you have to like, be like, I just want to buy this book, please?
This time, I really was able to walk around freely, and so naturally, my career is clearly over. No, there's only two things. There's these fans are bothering me, and why aren't these fans bothering me? There's no in between. There's no in between.
So you had some big comic book news this week. First, let's start with Buffy, doing Buffy season 11. What can you tell us about what's coming up for that?
Well, I'm going to be famously close-lipped, spoilers-wise, but we are going to shake up their lives, and sort of the whole country's going to be tested. Things are going to get very interesting. We've developed an idea that I like very much, that's very grand in its implications, but ultimately is going to be, just very personal to our guys.
And it was said that she is going to be in a relationship this time around. What brought about that?
Well, at some point, some things, you can dance around them for so long, and then at some point Andrew has to figure out that he's gay, and she and Spike have to figure out that they're dating.
Also, some big news. Wait, there's another Buffy comic. Was it the Giles, right?
Yes. I announced that this weekend that we're going to do a Giles miniseries where he goes back to school since he's now 12.
What's your involvement on these series?
Luckily, the people here are crushing it. We do the Buffy Summit where we try and figure out the direction for the next season, build the next season, and those always go the same way. There's about 3 hours of sitting in a hotel room, panicking, maybe a little drinking, possibly a small amount of drinking, and then somebody will say one thing and the tumblers will just start to go, and I'll be like, but wait, what? And then it suddenly goes from like, I guess that'll do, to something that really motivates us. And, and then I get, sent drafts. Usually I see them when they're completed at this point, because they're, these guys are so in the pocket. Chris Gage is just like, it's like he had been worked on the staff. I mean, it's so great to read that stuff.
Also, another big comic, Serenity, is getting another chapter. What can you tell us about that one?
Not a ton. I want to let them roll that out slowly, but we're going to see yet more consequences of what went before in the film, and it's one of the it's not a prequel. It's not a sort of one off in another land. It's the next chapter of their lives. Everything goes really well, and they make a ton of money, and then they retire. Yeah, it's a good story.
And it's revolving a little bit revolving around River, right? It's still an ensemble, but it's kind of focusing a little bit more on her, right?
Well, she's not a trouble magnet. She, the Alliance is still after her, and so she is still, and she also is, gifted. So inevitably, she's a great story generator.
Very excited to see more from her. Another comic announcement we got actually a while back from you was the comic Twist, which you described, I believe, as a Victorian female Batman. Do you have a status update on that?
Yeah, that one kind of got stuck in limbo, just working out some stuff with Dark Horse, and so we all just said, okay, well, let's step back. So right now it's still in limbo, but we're all on the same page, but we have different books. I don't know. It just I was sort of like, I want to wait till everything is in a row and then hit go on that. But it's something that I'd conceived of, previously and really shaped. So it is, it's sort of something that when we're ready to go, a lot of it's already finished in my head. Obviously, you still have to do the nitty gritty, but it's a story that I really like. I just really do. A female Victorian Batman is just what I want to see. Like a lot.
Definitely sounds awesome. The second I heard, I bet I'll reach out immediately to Dark Horse. I was like, we want to hear more about this next time. So definitely still awaiting that. Take your time. I heard you're a busy guy. Because you are so busy. Are you reading any comic books now?
I just read Nick Kocher's Rocket and Groot because he's a friend and it was his first comic, which is hilarious. I've been reading Paper Girls and Saga, of course, because Brian is Brian. And now I'm going to completely blank on what else I've read. I started reading Archie. and Sex Criminals, which is phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. Sex Criminals. That definitely is a unique read, but definitely really into it.
Yeah, stay in school, kids. But it is really intelligent and funny and human.
And we've actually not heard some news from you for a while now, and I suppose you've been getting this question a lot. Are you working on any new TV or movie projects?
I am working on a movie screenplay. I realized after doing 2 Avengers movies and Shakespeare, if you count Serenity, every movie I've directed has been an adaptation of something that already existed. So I am working on an original screenplay that is not that. I can't really say much about it, but I hope that it's a step forward. I think I began to realize at some point, I'm right now at that stage in my career where I could just do that thing people like, and it'll be sort of vaguely less interesting every time, but I'll make a good living. Or I can actually try and create something that frightens me, because I'm not sure if I can pull it off. That's what I'm writing right now, and I'm having the best time, but I can't really tell you more.
Okay, very cool. I'll take the tease. I like to open my presents on Christmas. I'll wait. I'm sure it'll be worth it. I was thinking about how you helped launch Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and it's in such a different place now from when you were last involved. Do you ever have the itch to maybe go back and direct an episode?
Well, I do have the itch, but I also have the wise old man knowledge that it would be so easy for me to go in and I could easily direct one, but when it comes to shaping the stories, Jed and Marissa really took it in a unique direction, and they're crushing it so much. And I've worked on shows where the guy who was involved at the beginning or who wrote the movie it's based on comes and is like, what you should do is, no, this is how we did it then. You should do it like that. And is incredibly unhelpful. So I'm trying to be, supportive and occasionally useful, but mostly, I have to give them all the credit. I'm like, they created something. It is different than what we started with. And, but it works. Well, it works a charm.
Totally. And on the Marvel movie side, wasn't too long ago you said you would, if you were to ever do a Marvel movie, it would be female-driven something. And has there been such a big fan push for Black Widow, especially of how much work you did developing that character? If you were to go back, would you want to do Black Widow?
Well, if somebody pointed me and said, you want to make a Black Widow movie, the answer would be, duh. For 2 reasons. I think that character really is very interesting and very earthbound, and so it's the kind of action that I got to do less of. Somebody like Thor or the Vision, when you get into your Superman territory, it's harder to maintain that the sort of the gritty action that the Russo brothers do so beautifully, and she's got that kind of thing that sort of, and really do a spy thriller, really do a good paranoid sort of John le Carré kind of, on crack kind of thing. That would be really fun. Also, Scarlett Johansson is just delightful. She works really hard, but she just spends most of her time cracking me up. So it would be a fun shoot.
Thank you so much for taking the time, and have a good Comic-Con.
Thank you. I already have.
But for more from what Joss Whedon is up to at Dark Horse and everywhere else, keep it here on IGN.